slide in terms of my plans for the future, so I'll move on from that. Right, the survey. There was a hiatus on the survey because the person leading it had other personal priorities like actually getting his degree finished, which is a clear priority for that, so that's fair enough. And that's also always an issue with volunteers, that their personal lives and their priorities will get in the way sometimes. We're overcoming that now. We've got some extra volunteers recruited, and that's now moving forward, and we'll hear a bit more about that later. So there's been some progress on the survey. And the other final one, I think, is that the plan was to grab more posters. We haven't got as far as that as we'd like, but we have got the new model bells outside. I've been told they're selling at the rate of one a week, which isn't too bad at all. And other ones are things on digital striking, up to speed developing some pathways, which we're going to be looking at. So that's what we're looking at for the future. So that is that way. Good news. The good news is that Milford School, which is where the South West course is going to go, have come back and confirmed the booking which we put in for the October half term next year. The other news is they want an upfront payment of £5,000 to secure it, so that's where we're going to spend some money, and they want other deposits going through. This rather speaks to my notion this afternoon, of course, about the reason why we need money to actually make things happen. But that's good news in that that will be now going ahead. And they're going into detailed planning and sort of expressions of interest in helping or upskilling the course. If you want more on that, drop Haley. Right. Next slide, please. Okay. So, what I was trying to do is basically improve volunteer experience. I believe we have a lot of talent in ringing, both in terms of obviously for ringing, but more to the point in terms of life skills and life experience. Lots of very qualified, very experienced, very talented people in ringing. Why can't we get enough done? Well, I think because we are sort of inviting people to join meetings and work groups, which are cooking for life, coming out of it. So what I want to do is break that down into, and take some work to do that, to establish short, sharp classes, do planning up front, say what we actually want people to do, how long we want them to do it for. Now then recruit the talent and say, can you do this for me? Can you produce a paper or something, or make this into progress, or do whatever? Get that bankable so we know where it's gone. And that might take you 3 months, it might take half a year, it doesn't matter whatever it is. When you've finished, there's an exit strategy, you've done that job, you can go on. Now I can do another job if that's what you want to do, but you're not getting into this situation which so many of us volunteers feel. We volunteer for something and then we can't get out of this again, which of course is a barrier to entering in the first place. And the other thing which will take some effort is actually, that will take some effort is not civil belief, I have to immediately, I would say. Right. I'll cover all those points. Okay. Right, I don't think let's assume. Right, I'll leave that one. Right, sharing ideas. Well, there's obviously lots of good stuff out there, which we're not capturing. I'm not saying that Central Council is going to be the arbiter of best practice. What we want us to be able to do is to make sure we can facilitate sharing all the practices going out there, connect people up, pointing them in the right direction. So that's what we're doing on that one. And the other thing I've noticed, I've done a couple of reading courses, I keep saying that people go on reading courses, they sometimes go and do these reading courses, the same topic over and over again. You don't appear to have a way of following that up with the local association. So this person's on this course, now we need to try and bring them on.
Can't really hear it. Should be able to.
Been on? Pardon? The light was on. The light was on. So that's trying to see if we can follow up on those courses so that local associations have somebody who's been on them. They can try and organise some follow-up to actually gain
into simple slides, so we've only got 3 minutes on this. We really to try and help you understand. I'll try and do that, yeah, I'm sure you'll remember. I've got the message. The 3 symbols are to help you remember what we consider the scope at the moment, and I'll come to that in a minute, of what we're following the work. Now, the equal sign is to represent the work to keep existing bells and towers in good working order, such as the general maintenance, the housekeeping, the checking, etc., and using the information that's been built up to help you do that. The plus sign is more about working on with the professional communities, for example, architects, structural engineers, civil engineers, on making sure they make better informed decisions when we're doing major works, or when there's considered to be a fault in the tower, for example, a crack. Make sure that they don't just say crack, no ringing, because that's the easiest way of removing any mitigation thing, but unfortunately that kills the building. And the minus sign is one that's bubbling up, and there will be more said over the next 2 days on this, and that's to do with what do we do with bells if there's church closures. And now I won't steal Simon's thunder, which will come in tomorrow's presentation, but the indications are that a number of churches are likely to close in the next few years, and none of them will have bells in them. Now, the reason I said we might have something else, I think when the structures were organised, some things have potentially fallen through the cracks. So next time I may do a circle around that and make that to a nice pretty face. But effectively, there are some things that will potentially be added to the workgroup remit to make sure we don't have any gaps as the work was split up. So, very brief update, go to the next slide. Oh, for some reason I probably didn't get that formatted as I expected, but there we go. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of information being built up by Alison's team about maintaining bells, about dealing with complaints, etc. And I think it makes an excellent start to what I would term a rigging body of knowledge. And I think just had the last talk, which was talking about retaining information. Potentially, as a society or a group, we ought to build on that. Maybe providing unique views of it so that you don't get bogged down with all the information. But it is there. And my ask really of you is, I've spoken to quite a few people who have been made aware of it, and I think that's due to a number of you from previous years. The challenge we've now got is to actually encourage them to use that information. And so if you can get to iterate, that would be much appreciated, because there's quite a breadth of information there. And if you only go and have a look at the sort of opening page, you'll see that. And if it's not working for your societies and your associations, please let me know why. Because I don't want that body of information to go to waste because it's so useful, and if it's going to be extended potentially in the future, we need to make sure it's accessible and in the right format. So please personally write to me. I think I'm on the email addresses on the first slide, but do let me know if it's not working and what we need to do to fix it. Okay? And we can consider that. Okay? I'll help you come back to show you my email address. It's not complex, but in terms of dealing with the professional communities, we've tried to engage a number of professionals already who are ringers to understand how they've approached the kind of projects in the past. It's some guidance that they will give us. You might call it rules of thumb, you might give us some general advice on where to go and look, but we're trying to build up some knowledge, and hopefully in the near future we'll be holding a session with a few of them so we can actually extend that list to actually understand how professionally best engage with ringing and maintaining towers and major works, as I would call them. And in terms of the last piece, which is the negative, effectively, where churches closures, as I said, at the moment a lot of that work's still being done by Simon and Alison. I'm expecting it to come under our remit at some point. But for now, we're looking at where the information sources are, like Delft and other sources, and what kind of information we may have to capture, so that when it comes to a church closure, we have enough information to help support an appropriate course of action that will go with handling that. And it may be authority documents, and we can share that information with other parties who are working on church closures to take into consideration. So that's the brief summary. I try to keep it short, not overload you, because I know Alison's going to do a piece in a few minutes, which will add in a lot of work that's been done up to date as well. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Andrea Haynes. I'm the workgroup lead for Young Winners for 2030. So this workgroup's an amalgamation of the previous universities and the schools and the work streams. So I've been doing this for about 5 or 6 months now. So I think it's probably worth going the first slide. It's worth just explaining what we're about and why we're doing this. Back in the day, we had a steady stream of young winners, like my dad, your voice is breaking, maybe some choir at power. And we got a lot of our young winners from church and from the youth groups. But that's not happening now. So we need to find innovative ways of connecting with young winners and then keeping them. Because we have kind of drop-offs at certain ages. It's a big challenge. The work I'm leading is about trying to manage that centrally and give support to young leaders and leaders and organisations nationally and internationally. So in terms of an update, I will explain what we've done, but at the same time, without moving on to what the next steps are. So we're doing a number of different work streams within this. One of the main ones is creating a hub of young winners, which is basically a very fast website, which will have connections across the entire young winners landscape. And we've actually got, I've got on my notes, got 32 volunteers, we've actually got 30 collected some more last time. So about 2/3 of those are under 30, quite a few are under 18, and we've got some new parents, some who aren't winners themselves, helping with that as well. We've also been out to talk and engage with young winners at the Ring World Road Show. Kristen's here, shout out to him, he managed to stay the store all day, so well done. Another thing we've worked very hard on getting to the point we have a product, and we've done a trial at a school in Romford, our school lesson plans, more about that in a second. And I've also established a conversation around how different organisations and groups involved in young women work together. Because there's all really good stuff going on out there, but it's not very joined up. So I'm looking at creating young women's networks as well. I've also established a group, the workgroup leads, so those that we've heard from today. So we meet before the executive workgroup meeting. We constantly talk about touch points, things that might fall between them, all that kind of thing. And we talk about the executive, which is quite fun. So next slide, please. Okay, so in terms of our plans, there's a couple of real beats. The Young Winners Fund is huge. We've got our first steering group with our project leads on the 15th September. And coming out of that group, we'll be remitting those individuals to go with their groups to develop content. Contents include under 18s, over 18s, social media. I mean, gosh, we've got a lot of young people helping us out. Thank goodness. Communications. And then each of the groups will be identifying the resources they need. So it's not just people, it's money. Because one of the key things about my work stream is we can build stuff, but we've got to keep it going, we've got to make it sustainable. So we're looking at what sort of business as usual model looks like as well. Because without that, we'll develop all this wonderful stuff and have it all done. So that's a biggie. So at some point we will need some money to do something, but we don't know what those things are yet, so watch the space, but we will keep you updated. The schools one is a bit more advanced. Jason Hughes, I'm not sure whether he's here or not. Jason Hughes? I think he's been part running. We're looking at, Jason has developed a proof of concept, then he's produced so across the transition into secondary school. And again, we're looking now at how we develop this sort of proposition, what the operating model looks like, what the finance model looks like. Because we want to charge for this to make it a value by sector schools. We will be needing volunteers to develop the product into the next phase. So I'll be putting out a call to arms for that at some point. It's a big effort, this one. So we'll be pulling it down to bite-sized chunks and communicating accordingly when we need some support. I think a real quick win is the boundaries work that I mentioned. I think most of the pieces of the jigsaw are in there. We put them together to make sure that everybody's talking to one another. So in summary, I think we need the capacity and the resources to make changes. We need people, we will need some money, and we need time, people's time. But building the new stuff is easy, sustaining it is much harder and needs a lot of thought. Each of the projects will identify the resources required. The other thing is my priority is to get that up and running into the development phase. So we're kicking that off in a few weeks. And with the schools work, we're looking at developing a project team to work on a large grant proposal to get that rolled out. So my ask for everybody is to please talk to your organisations, your associations, anyone you know, particularly schools, church schools, your local clergy, about is anybody interested in getting involved in school work? I think that is potentially our biggest, if you think how many schools and how many kids there are, if we can get to a few of those, it would be a real win. So yeah, my contact detail, my email was on the first slide, and there's a contact us facility on the website, so please get in touch or send an email. Okay.
He was out running with Simon.
Oh. Okay, you want to whiz through his slides then? We're just going to pick slides up. I'll give you a couple of seconds to read that. It's obviously not to present. So, okay, apparently this is what they've been doing. So, if you've got any questions, you'll need to nod on him later. He was aware that he needed to be here to present the slides. So, that's what he's planning on doing. I'll leave you to read that. Everyone got the gist? So, right, Chris. Chris is here.
You haven't been out running with Simon. No.
Good morning, everybody. Being lead for the Historical and Archive Working Group, I thought I'd better wear an old CC t-shirt to go along with it. Even though I have all the Devon ones, just to show corporatism. First slide, please, Ernie. Okay, I was getting confused. I didn't put that picture on the bottom.
No, I did. Pictures in there, so I think it's up a bit.
Okay, fine. Anyway, the library's moved, you'll be glad to hear. It now has a permanent home at Loughborough. Many thanks to the Bell Museum who've been very helpful in getting this all organised. It'll be operational from the 1st of October for those that want to visit and do their own research. All the details are on the Historical and Archive Workgroup page. We've also had articles in the Ring World, and there's also social media coverage. So if you haven't picked any of that up and want to know what the procedures are for new arrangements, drop me an email or do a little bit of research looking at the website. New appointments. Alan Glover has done his 12 years as library steward. We thank him for that good service. We now have two new library stewards being appointed by the executive. That's Andrew Aspland and Sue Marston, and they're now in post as of the end of this meeting. I've done my 5 years, so I have to stand down. Ian Love is nominated. It's not yet ratified by the executive, but hopefully that will go through on the nod. So he will be taking over this role after this meeting. We've got new ringing website. Do have a look at it. There is a wealth of historical information on there. Just one example, newspaper extracts. If you remember those who are keen on history, John Isaac published 5 volumes in recent years. That has now been expanded by about 50%. There's a huge amount of historical information in there. And John has kindly agreed to put all that on our website. And it's searchable. So if you want to search Tower history or particular society history, you can look at that. There's a lot of information going back to 1647. Currently it covers 1647 to 1845. And we've got to keep adding to that. So do have a look at that. That's just one example of the fantastic information that's on this website. Next slide, please, Ernie. The work group is divided into subgroups, and each subgroup has a series of projects. Some of those have been completed, others are ongoing. For example, the Peel Board project being led by Richard Andrews. So, you know, it's all good stuff that's going on at the moment. There are projects that people say we should be doing, we haven't got the volunteers to do them. For example, recordings of bells and oral histories of ringers who have had their career in ringing. And other people have great ideas as well for things we should be doing. So we do need volunteers. So have a look at the website. If any of those subgroups are attractive to you, get in contact with the subgroup lead. If you have any good ideas, get in touch with Dick for the future. There's always work to do. We need more volunteers. Without volunteers, we can't progress this work. So please do have a look and think about that. So after we finish really, I was given 5 minutes. I thought I'd get cracking and get it all done very quickly. Any questions? Tina.
Actually, I have a comment. That's not on. Is it? Is it on? Okay. Actually, I have a comment, and I think, Chris, you skated over that library move very, very fast. And I think I'd like to have it acknowledged how much work and planning over 2 years and more went into moving that library. And in the end, it came off very, very smoothly. So I think I'd like to hear some a thanks from the room and congratulations for Chris, who organized it, and Alan, who worked so hard to make that library move smooth, and to the Loughborough Bell Foundry Trust, who have made a new home for it. Can I please?
Thank you very much. Just to add, we haven't given up the library. It's on loan to the Loughborough Bell Foundry Trust. So, you know, if the council ever get unhappy with the arrangements, we can always claw it back. But the fantastic facilities there, the new museum that they've set up. So it's well worth a visit to see the library, but also to see the new museum there.
Good morning, everybody. I'm probably the right height for this microphone. Normally I need a box in any tower nowadays. As you probably all know, I'm the outgoing work group leader for the Stewardship and Management Work Group. I've done nearly 7 years in the role. That's not exceeding the limit allowed, but I did the few months before the work group was officially born in the planning phase with Chris O'Mahony. To give you an update, since the meeting papers were compiled a few months ago, the major thing that we've completed is the Wesley Award for this year. So please do stay before you rush off to lunch and hear who the winners are and some of the things that they've been doing for the Wesley Award in town maintenance and improvement. Not just to congratulate the winners, but to actually encourage more of this sort of work in your association areas. Because as a work group, we're very conscious that the number of people who embark on learning and doing the work to maintain the bells that we ring, and we do not own, is one important point, the number of those people doing that sort of work and learning are diminishing quite rapidly. As a professional engineer, I've seen that in my engineering working environment, so I'm not surprised but really still seem to be surprised when old Joe of 80 can't clamber around like a monkey on a bell frame and has no thoughts of succession. So that's to encourage you to come and stay and keep from your lunch for a few minutes. To reiterate what Mark's already said, the body of work that we've spent 6 or 7 years putting together to update all the old Central Council documents is all online, and on page 35 of your meeting papers you'll find a rather scrunched up set of QR codes where you can easily access that information, or on the Central Council website. We have asked for all that information to be displayed in your towers around your branches and your guilds and societies. It's very rare that I see any of that pinned up, so I do ask every rep, everybody in this hall, to go back to their associations and spread the message through whatever mechanism you have to display that poster. It's available on the Central Council resource website in a less scrunched up form, so please do use it, and I hope to see it when I'm travelling around towers. Finally, I'd like to thank everybody who's helped the work group in the last 6 or 7 years. There are a large number of people who've been involved, and not only those who've helped visibly as members of the work group, but we've got a network of about 40 or 50 specialists in the background who help on very specialist topics, be it noise from the environmental law point of view, or from the technical point of view of controlling noise, lawyers, all sorts of people, and they're very, very useful in the work group but don't take part in all the work group activities. So I will bow out. Apart from hearing from me at the Wesley Award presentations at lunchtime, this is the last you'll hear from me, certainly in this forum. Thanks very much indeed for all your help and support in the last few years. Cheers.
I am going to be very brief, and also there is a slight mistake on that slide. That's acting, work group lead. So the constitutionalist among you will note that one can't be on the executive and work group lead at the same time. But there has been a vacancy in this work group for 12 months, so you've seen the reports in the annual report. So following up from that, it has been a business as usual work group over this 12-month period. It has suffered from the lack of a work group lead, but actually this is a work group that does get a lot of stuff done every week and every month. And actually I did have somebody comment to me yesterday saying, oh, but all that stuff's for free, it doesn't count. And I say it counts a lot. Almost every piece of software you use that's ringing related pulls information from the work of the volunteers of this group. So what they do is very important indeed. And actually, if anybody, young composers, people interested in method construction, people interested in archiving and versioning of material as well, we'd be very welcome to have some new people into this work group, just so we have good succession planning in place. We do now, subject to confirmation, have a new work group lead for this, Kira Chase, who is also the team leader for the compositions team. And she's very keen to do some activities to make these important BAU activities more part of the Ringing 2030 initiative, just so that we can sort of try and draw all the work groups in that way. And so anybody excited about getting involved in that, please get in touch with myself or Kira. Next slide, please. Right, I've pretty well covered that. So any questions? Otherwise, I'll pass on to the next group. That's it. So thank you to all our work group leads for that whistle-stop tour of what they've been doing. Obviously, their full reports are in your meeting packs. There's a lot going on, but there's still a lot to do, and you'll hear from many of them. There is ask for more support and more help. So if you think you have got something that would be useful for them to help progress all of the projects that they've got coming up, then please do use today to get in touch. You've met them all, apart from one.
Who's here?
So, do...
Vicky's here.
Yeah, it's here. So do avail yourself, make yourself known to them and offer your services. Don't be an armchair critic.
that's not helpful. We are going to take a short hiatus now because we need to